that are desperate to be able to sing and dance at their own simchas. And everyone that's here means that they work, they put in koiches to raise money, to help out for those people. And it's a very, very big schis for me to be here with all of you tonight. And of course, the thousands of people all over the place that are watching. It's a big schis. Thank you very much for coming. I'd like to begin, first of all, there's food over there for those that are coming in. Make yourself comfortable. Make sure you get a good drink and relax. You're here for a beautiful evening, an amazing lineup of superstars, of speakers, of musical stars, and of course, the Bonei Olam. I'd like to share with you a very quick thought before we introduce our first show, our first guests. Very, very interesting thing. There was a person that was nebuch in the hospital with their child. Their child was born in a very, very serious situation. They didn't think the child would make it. And the doctors, but mostly the nurses of that floor, of that division, they sat there and they mamish gave their lev and nefesh to this child. For some reason, they were involved, they were invested, and nothing could stop them. Shift after shift, they were in there, they were involved, making sure the medications, they really put their life and soul into this child. And after 7 weeks of mamish critical situation, the baby got stabilized. 4 weeks later, the baby went home with his parents, and b'chazdei Hashem, the baby grew up to be a healthy child. It's a very nice thing when you go to the nurse's station. If anybody has to be in the hospital, hopefully for a simcha, you drop off a box of chocolates, a rugelach. You tell them some Hungarian name and they like it even better. But at the end of the day, it's very nice. This couple decided they're not sending chocolates. And on the baby's first birthday, they brought the baby to the hospital, to the floor, to the nurse's station to show them this is the baby that you saved. And they did the same thing every single year at the baby's birthday. And at some point, the nurses weren't even there anymore. It was a different shift, a different people, but they knew it was coming. And the nurses says that was the greatest gift that they ever got, to watch their fruits of labor grow and flourish and turn into a real person. Says Rabbi Yisvei, when he heard this story, he was blown away and he said, this is Pshat in the Pusik. Pusik says, Vayitev Elokim lamiyaldos. The miyaldos went and they put their life in danger. The children came, they were born, they put their lives in danger, and of course they told Pare, what do you want? That has nothing to do with us. Says the Pusik, Vayitev Elokim lamiyaldos. The Eibishter did good for the miyaldos. And everybody here knows that the Yaslam Butim, he made for them Butim, Buta Kehina, Buta Levia. But that Pusik only comes later. First, the Torah says, Vayirav Ha'am. First, the nation grew. And then it says, Vayaslam Butim. You know why? Because Vayaslam Butim is very nice. That's the chocolates. That's the rugelach. But Vayirav Ha'am, that the nation grew, that was the greatest gift that Hashem could have given to the Miyaldis. To see that their work was happening, it was growing, and it was turning into a nation. We're here tonight, Rabbi Sai, to do our shtadlis. For what? That Vayirav Ha'am, that this nation of Klal Yisrael should continue to grow and to flourish. And unfortunately, not everyone naturally can do it on their own. No one does it on their own, but it seems natural. Hashem covers up Teva. He makes it Teva look very simple. And unfortunately, many people, without coming to Bonei Olam, they couldn't do it. So we're here tonight. Enjoy the evening and remember what we're here for. And now it is my honor and privilege to introduce to you, you see, these people don't really have names. They're like a group of people that share a name. And they have hundreds of thousands of secret admirers, because it's not, you don't really follow these people, because they're like so different. You'll find out in a second. But secret admirers, they have all over the world. It is my pleasure to introduce to you the one and only Zusha.
Every time I needed you, you found got the Ariza, the Rebbe, the Babich, na 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 na. I live, babe, you more, I live, hey. I live, babe, you more, darling. I got the bus stamp of the rum, and the valley, the Rebbe, Milabavich, and the Baba Sali. I got the Ariza, and the Rebbe, and the Kushi Glover. I live, babe, you more, darling, hey. I live, babe, you more, darling. I got the bus stamp. In the Ramad Valley, the Rebbe Milubavitch and the Baba Sali. I got the Arizal and the rugged Shava, the Holy Touch Rebbe and the Kosher Glover. Oh, I live, baby, get more dollars. I live, baby, get more dollars. I got the bus sent up in the Ramad Valley. The Holy Touch Rebbe and the Kosher Glover. Babe, you're more the holiday. Oh, yeah, Rebbe, you're more the holiday. Da 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 the Holy Touch Rebbe and the Kosher Glover. And the Kosher Glover. Oh, Hashem Yikom Damo. Aleph, Hey, Gimel Dalet, Hey.
This one works. Oh. Let's hear it for Zusha. Rishis my shver, who I didn't give a right to. Hope you Michael me. Now you Michael me. Rabbi said we have a very, very special speaker coming up. But before he comes up, I want to say one quick thought. We know the famous Gemara Rabbi Akiva said when they were covering up the baby with hay, and he said, don't complain, because there are people that have less than us. As long as people have less than us, then we're rich. Rabbi Akiva Eiger says a very important message. We only look at people that have less than us when we're talking about Gashmias. Gashmias, we say, look, somebody has less, I'm good. But when it comes to Ruchnias, there it's not good, because we'll find a lot of people that have less than us. When it comes to Ruchnias, we have to say, look, there are so many people that have more than me. I need to grow, I need to steig in my Ruchnias. So he says, we say it all the time. We say, Bashamayim, when it comes to something representing Shamayim, something Ruchnias, Mimal, we have to look up, see who has more than us. Valoret, something that's Ruchnias, that's down here on the ground, then Mitachas. then we look who has less than us. I was thinking after I heard this word, Bonei Olam is mamish bashamayim mimal va'al oretz mituchas. Bashamayim, they're doing whatever they can to give an achas rich to the Rabbi Shalom, to help out his children, to bring down the neshumas mitachas under the kisei HaKovod. That's bashamayim mimal. But at the same time, it's va'al oretz mituchas. It's for all those people that are down here that are nebuch looking. They don't see anyone that has less than them, because you can't have less than someone that has nothing. That is what tonight is all about. It is a great honor and privilege to introduce to you a great rabbi of the Safra Synagogue in Manhattan, world-renowned Pem Mapik Margulius, the one and only Rabbi Shlomo Farchi. Please give him your undivided attention. Doesn't mind.
Thank you. I never thought I would have to compete with a blender, but I'll do my best. I want to thank you. I want to thank you, Rav Shlomo and Chana Bachner, and the entire team at Bonei Olam for having me be able to come and speak with you tonight. It's a tremendous honor. I want to also thank you, Pinchas Twersky, for arranging this opportunity, for going back and forth so many times until eventually we were able to make this happen. It's a beautiful night. It's very, very special what you've created over here. A big yashakoyach also, and Hazaku Baruch, to all the donors and the volunteers and participants for their dedication to this critical tzedakah, to this unbelievable cause. You know, they say a parent's definition of quiet time is when the kids are making noise somewhere else. But those people, they're wrong. I want to tell you a nice little story about a fellow who has no place to stay. He's in shul, and he sees a man, and he says, "Is there any way I could stay over by you tonight?" He says, "Sure, no problem. It's not the most comfortable place to stay. You might not sleep so well." The guy says, "I have nowhere else to go." He says, "Fine, come. I hope you'll be okay. I'll hope you sleep well in my house." Guy gets to the house, beautiful house. He sleeps on the bed, amazing sheets, comfortable pillow. Everything is done, betuv tam, very, very beautiful. He goes to bed. He feels like, what a beautiful achnasat orchim this is. And then, in the middle of the night, all of a sudden, there's screeching, there's whistling, there's smoke coming through the window. The guy jumps out of bed. He doesn't know what's going on. He's ready to call 911. He starts screaming until the Baal HaBayit walks into the room. And he says, "Is everything okay? I hear you screaming. I hear you running around. You're nervous." He says, "I'm nervous. How could you possibly sleep?" And the man tells him, "How could I possibly sleep? Those noises, that sound, that's my factory right across the street. The noise is my machinery producing. The smoke is the furnace that's creating everything that is my parnasah. The whistling is the sound of my product moving down the assembly line into the trucks. That parnasah, that noise, it's my sanity." You're asking me how I could sleep through it. The only nights I can't sleep are when there's quiet. Now, in truth, there is nothing sweeter than that sound. It's the sound of life, the kvetching and crying that every parent complains about. Is the sound of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's blessings filling up a Jewish home. Now, for couples that struggle with infertility, and I don't know why, and I can't explain this, but as a rabbi, I've been in the rabbi business for 20 years, and I'm sure Rabbi Shlomo will back me up. What was once a problem that you used to see here and there is, for some reason, En bait asher en sham I chaim. In every house, in every bench in my shul, every other young couple you see, it's an epidemic. And I don't know why. My friends, but what I do know is that for couples like that, the dream of the pitter-patter of little feet, the dream of the getting up in the middle of the night, the dream of a chinuch problem, the dream of challenges with shidduchim that we cry and kvetch to our friends about, we don't often realize that that would be their best dream come true. And when it doesn't, it's a nightmare. But tonight, my friends, I want you to realize we have the power of making that dream a reality. That is an amazing power, but it is also an amazing responsibility. You know, Bonei Olam, when you think about this tzedakah, you realize it's not just a tzedakah that you're giving money to. It's a living, breathing factory of miracles. It is a mikor chaim. It is a source, literally, that brings life into the world. And each of you here tonight, whether you've given already or you plan on giving before the evening ends, you're a partner in the greatest hesed imaginable in bringing life into this world. My friends, I want to start, maybe, perhaps, by trying to make this a little bit more real. It's a story, it's a true story. And in fact, I understand that this year we finally passed the number of 13,000 babies that were born for Bonei Olam. Just sit and think about that number. So I want to share with you a story that's been told to Rav Shlomo probably 13,000 times. As a rabbi, I've heard the story hundreds of times. The story always goes something like this. A couple who gets married and starts off their life, and they're married for years. And finally, a truth that they're not willing to admit to themselves eventually comes out of one of their mouths. I think there's something wrong. The shattering realization that it's not just a regular weight, but that there's a problem here is first broken not by Bonei Olam, not by the rabbi, not even by the parents. I know this because people have told me we haven't even told my parents yet. We don't want them to be worried. We don't want them to be nervous. So the story goes, still a hate, quiet, they make an appointment. But if you're making an appointment for yourself, some of you will know, if you don't have help, it could take months to get that appointment. And you come home and you find out that after the tests are done, that you're right, and the problem you thought you might have, you do. You spend all the money you have, all your chasana money goes down the drain. You try and get extra jobs. Your wife takes a job, and that money goes down the drain. Because one attempt of trying to bring IVF for infertility could range between a little bit more than $10,000 to over $30,000 for one try. And there's no guarantees, my friends. So a couple runs out of money, or they run out of kochot, or they run out of emotional stability or power. And then someone tells them about this organization, about Bonei Olam. My friends, before I say anything else, I must say this. One of the chasadim that you could do is help support Bonei Olam. But the second chesed you could do is helping people who don't know this exists, explaining to them, sharing with them that there's someone and something out there that can help them. It was only a short while ago that someone came to me crying about her husband who needed a transplant and she'd never heard of renewal. There's people who have issues with sickness and they've never heard of Chaim or Refuah. Don't assume that someone knows that the help that they could get with one phone call. Don't assume that they already know. That one phone call, that one comment, like happened with this young woman, the very next day, her husband was on the list and it saved his life. Sometimes all it takes to save a life is caring enough to have an awkward conversation. My friends, that couple goes with the encouragement, with the financial support from Bonei Olam. They don't only receive funding, they get dignity. They don't just get advice, they get hope. And with all of that guidance, they think they've tried everything. But did you try this? Did you know about that? You went to this doctor. It's true, he's the best at what he does. But what you need specifically, there's someone much better. My friends, decades later, after that moment of that chasana, Gan Eden Mikedem, they finally experienced the gift of a child. And when that kid is singing on Simchat Torah, I thank you, Hashem, the father's crying on the side. That's happened again. I could be me'id with my own mouth. And they'll tell you, you know what that sound is? That's the sound of HaKadosh Baruch Hu answering our tefillot. My friends, that kid is now a teenager. I've met the kids that were born from Bonei Olam. I know one that's dating now. It's been enough years. My friends, so when you write a check to Bonei Olam, you're not only writing a check, you're writing a story. And that world, that infinite potential is only because somebody in a room like this, in New York, in Brooklyn, in Deal, in Miami, someone said, I'm going to help. Instead of saying, I already gave. Someone said, I'm going to give more. Instead of saying, put me down for the same as last year. And someone saying, you know something? I'm going to push myself for this, even though this year was not so easy. The Gemara tells us, Kol hamatzil nefesh achat miYisrael, ki'ilu hitzil olam maleh. A person who saves one Jewish soul, it's as if he saved an entire world. Now, we all understand that in every single person lies an entire world. We know that. It always bothered me. Why is it that the Gemara says, Ki'ilu hitzil olam maleh? If a child is a world, then why do we say ki'ilu as if, and it's not that he did? And I think that the answer is, my friends, why ki'ilu? Because if you didn't save him, maybe somebody else would. Because the person is already here, but his salvation is a maybe. But my friends, with Bonei Olam, we're not talking about a vadai, alive person. We're talking about a safek, a maybe baby. And if that's the case, and you gave or you gave extra, then it's not ki'ilu like the Gemara says about being matzil nefesh, because that nefesh doesn't exist without you. It is a vadai. It is hitzil olam maleh. You created that world. You know, I was thinking so much about this when I was thinking about what I wanted to say. This past week, we read about what it means that a baby could be olam maleh. I'm talking, of course, about a baby that was also a maybe baby. A baby called Moshe Rabbeinu. whose parents had decided that they could have no more. But with the encouragement of Miriam, Amram takes Yocheved back, and they have that one more child. My friends, let's pause to consider what would have happened without that one baby. Not just his entire world, but no one in this room would be sitting here today without that baby, without the encouragement that Miriam gave her parents to try one more time. I want to ask you another question. If you're blessed to have a family, I want you to think about what that one baby is. If I asked you, of the children that you have, give me one of them, could you choose which one you didn't need or you don't want? Some of you are saying yes. I have the number of an excellent therapist. Every kid is unique. Every kid is the only. I want to share with you a beautiful chidush I shared in my morning shiur. We say, Vayechi Yaakov, Yaakov lived, and the Gemara says, Yaakov Avinu lo met. Why? Says the Gemara, a hekesh. Since Zar'o b'chaim, since his children are alive, so he too is also alive. You know why Yaakov Avinu never dies? Because he has the 12 Shivatim. My friends, I want to share with you a chidush. I believe that in every one of the children that we have in this life, HaKadosh Baruch Hu puts an element of us, of ourselves, out the husband, the father, and the mother. When people decide, because of convenience, that they're going to have 2 kids and a dog, when they could have had 4, there's an element of the chiyut of that person, of their koach, of their neshama, that does not get brought out into the world. And when that child is not born, that they could have had, that was within their yacholet to have, then a part of them dies and does not exist. When a person is trying, when they've done everything that they can, then their whole neshama could be in one. But for Yaakov Avinu, it required each and every one of those. That is the power of one baby. It's not a child. It's a story. It's not a story. It's nitzchiyut. You're planting a seed, but that seed grows into a tree, and the tree produces fruit, and those fruits have more seeds, and the entire orchard is because of you. My friends, every Jewish person is in the same boat. We all love a good deal. Someone asks you how much something costs and you're Jewish, you can't tell them how much you can't tell them without telling them how much it's supposed to cost. You know, really, it's but I got it for, I knew the guy, I had a coupon, I was on Dan's deals. Yeah, we all like a good deal. For a good deal, you need return on investment. My friends, you buy something and all it is the value of that thing, it's not the best deal. But a child who has children, who builds families, what better investment is there in tzedakah? You know, Zev Wolfson, who was one of the great Baalei Tzedakah of our generation and maybe even generations prior, he would spend more time on working on the numbers of the kiruv that he was donating to than he would on his own business. And once they asked him why, and he said, because it says, Ki lekach tov natati lachem, torati al ta'azovu. A person needs to look at Torah and mitzvot like a business. And you need to make sure that you're getting maximum return on your investment. When you build this, it's not a property, it's not a building, it's not a classroom. It's forever. And that child is also called on your name. The Gemara says, Shimon, Achi Azariah, in the beginning of Zevachim. Why is he called after his brother and not after his father? Rashi explains, because it was his brother who supported him. Dinah is called the sister of Shimon and Levi because they fought for her. My friends, the young couples I meet, they cry, they pray, they hope. And just like Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah, Hannah, when their prayers are answered, the joy is unimaginable. But there's a difference, my friends. Hannah was alone. Sarah Imenu didn't have a shul. Rivka, Rachel, and Leah, where did they live? Who were their support systems? They were praying by themselves. Every one of these 13,000 children, not one of these couples stood alone. They had Rav Shlomo and Chana in the early days. They had the organization as it grows. They have you, they have us. Together we are their support, we are their hope, and we are their family. The Pasuk says in Tehillim, Pada b'shalom nafshi mikrav li. Hashem, you saved my soul, you saved it, you brought it to peace. Mikirav li, Rashi says, what does it mean? Mikirav li, min hamilchama haba alai. From the war that's coming my way. You saved me, God. My friends, infertility is a beracha. But this great beracha comes at a cost. It's a war. The finances, the hormones, the crying, the climbing hopes and the dashed dreams. Only to have to climb once again from the mountaintop, one more time me'atchala. But says the Pasuk, Hashem, you know why you saved me. Ki berabim ayu imadi. And Rashi explains, Ki zot asali, God, you did this for me. Bishvil harabim shayu be'ezrati. For the many that came to my help, to my side. Lehitpalel alai, to pray for me. Shneemar v'chol Yisrael v'Yehuda ahav David. My friends, there's not a single one of these people who thinks these days that they are alone. They know that Bonei Olam is raising money. They know that they have the unbelievable wisdom, the learned experience of someone in this room who knows more than doctors in the field, Rabbi Bachner. And with the Rabbim, the tefillah of the Rabbim, with the money of the Rabbim, they answered, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu helps them. It is one thing to pray, but my friends, when a person could do something other than praying, what does Hashem ask of us? Matitzak elai, daber el bnei Israel v'yisau. For a person that could donate, davening is not enough. For a person that could help, davening is not enough. Why are you calling out to me if there's still moves on your chessboard? And my friends, we have the opportunity to be able to do this. I want to end by saying something that I think is very powerful. This mitzvah, the mitzvah of having children, it's the first mitzvah in the Torah. But there's something interesting about the way the Pasuk expresses this mitzvah. The Pasuk says, Peru, urevu, umileu et haaretz. Be fruitful, multiply, and fill the earth. Mil'u et haaretz. I always wondered, what is this last element of the commandment? Peru, urevu is the maaseh we have to do. But mil'u et haaretz is just what happens after we peru urvud. What was Hashem asking of us when He says, Umil'u et haaretz? And the answer, my friends, is it is not we who create life. It is not us who do the Peru Urvu. But it is our job to fill this earth with what HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us. The commandment of Milu et haaretz asks, beyond what I can do, what Hashem can do, what can you do? Only yesterday I learned with my guys a Gemara. The Gemara says you're not allowed to marry a woman on Chol HaMoed. You know why? Because since you have days off on Chol HaMoed, what will people do? they'll push off getting married to Chol HaMoed. The last answer of the Gemara, the fourth answer of the Gemara is, that is going to cause bitul pirya v'rivya, because there'll be 6 months when you're not trying to have a child. We can't wait 6 months. We have to do it now. We can't wait for the next tax bracket. We can't wait for money to come on in. Levu alai, God says, borrow on me and I will pay you back. We need to do this now. My friends, all this time, Rav Shlomo and Chana were just mil'u et haaretz, they were filling the earth. But in the last year and a half, we're not adding numbers, are we? We're making up numbers that we lost. At a wedding, we say that a chatan and kala are bonei echad mechurvot Yerushalayim. And we here have the opportunity to be able to replenish, to mil'u et haaretz. I am jealous of your zechut. I am jealous of Shlomo and Chana, of your portion in Gan Eden, of the myriad people, millions and millions and millions that came from these 13,000 in the future. I'm jealous of that zechut. But my friends, you and I know that you could be jealous or you could buy a piece. Tonight, and up until this point, we have all bought a piece in the most wonderful investment that you could ever imagine. Thank you so much.
Take off what? I think it's kedai to move to Manhattan to be able to hear a speech like this every Shabbos. Rabbi, what do you do, about 15, 20 minutes of Shabbos? He's busy, okay. Rabbi said it's about 30 years ago when Reagan and Gorbachev were going at each other, and eventually the Iron Curtain fell. There was this family that came from Russia, a couple. First time in a supermarket. How do you stop this thing? First time in a supermarket in America, they just landed. And they're walking up and down the aisles and they're looking, and the lady holds a box and she says, "What's this?" And the husband says, "Don't know, powdered sugar." They call over somebody, "What's powdered sugar?" "Oh, you take the powder, you mix it with water, and it's sugar." Wow, they're blown away. They've never seen this in their life. They see something, cocoa powder. "What's this?" So he says, "You mix the cocoa with the water, you have good chocolate." Powdered milk. Anyway, he tells her to take a walk. He's going to take a walk the other way, and they'll meet in a few minutes. Suddenly he hears screaming. He goes running, and he sees that a few people screaming. His wife's on the floor. She fainted. And in her hand is a can of baby powder. That was a joke. Rabbi say, you can take powder from many things and turn them into something. But to have a child, unfortunately, it's a lot more than a can of baby powder. I was going to tell you another joke, but I know you're not going to get it. Exactly. I want to share with you a quick story. Many years ago in a shtetl, there were two Chashuva brothers, Rabbi Elimelech and Rabbi Cheskel, two brothers, big tzaddikim. And they both had a tremendous talent to be Bali Koira, Bali Tefillah, and of course, Bal Tekeya, Balei Tekeya. And every single year they would go up and they would split the tefillahs. And of course, when it came to shofar, it was the same thing. Elimelech would blow the regular tkiyas, and Yecheskel would blow the tkiyas of the Stille Shmein Esrei, and they would go up there. Now, Elimelech was a person that never had a lot of tzuris in his life. He had health issues, but one of the strongest issues that he dealt with was in the women's section. There were never three of his daughters. The oldest one was 49 years old, and none of them were married. And he would get up there and he would say Islam Natsayach. Every person could feel the pain. Every person could feel this lahavis, the bren in his voice when he would say those words. And when he got up there to blow shofar, forget about it. You could hear the cry in the shofar. You could hear the cry of it's a brach in the heart. There was nothing like it. This happened every single year. One year he gets up there, he says the Olam Natsayach, he makes the bruches, and he picks up the shofar, and he blows, but nothing comes out. And he tries again, and he tries again, and everyone's waiting. It's quiet. I'm sure there was one Litvak that was saying, "No, hefsek," but nothing was happening. And his brother didn't know what to do, and they gave him another shofar, an easier shofar, a different curved shofar, and nothing. As he took it, he put the shofar to his lips, and nothing happened. And after trying for 10 minutes, there was no choice. They handed the shofar to his brother. His brother walked over, and he blew flawlessly, perfectly, the same shofar, the same tkiyas, but his brother had no chance, but Yecheskel had no issue. And he blew the entire davening. That was the second day of Rosh Hashanah. These two brothers did not see each other for a few days. It was so uncomfortable. And finally, after a few days, Yecheskel goes and knocks on the door of his brother, Elimelech. And he opens the door, and it's silence. They're staring at each other, the embarrassment of what happened that day. And what was the brother supposed to do? Should he have taken the shofar or not? It was extremely uncomfortable. And after a few moments of silence, he says, "I want to tell you something. I'm not upset. You did the right thing. I'm not embarrassed. But I want you to know something. I took those embarrassing moments and I cried to the Eibishter that my daughters should get engaged. And as you can well imagine, a month later, the oldest one was engaged, and by the end of the year, all three of them were engaged. Two of them were married already. Rabbi say, there's a time that you could pick up a shofar and it doesn't blow, and there's no explanation. And there are times that people cry their hearts out to the Eibishter, and they cry, and at some point their tears dry out. At some point they can't cry anymore. There's nothing left of them. And at that moment, that's a brach in the heart. That's a brach in the neshama. Could you imagine what he could tell? Bonei Olam is there. You, every single person sitting here, every single person watching, everyone that has $1 in their pocket that can help, has the ability to make those tears come forth again. Tears of simcha this time. We have a special zchis, a young man that I promise not to embarrass, of Chusha being a man who is going to gift us with a few minutes, share his own message to everybody watching. Eli Schlasser.
Good evening, everyone. All right. Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to thank all of you for joining us tonight, for supporting this amazing organization. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Eli Schlesser, and I've been married for almost 7 years, and my wife and I are pretty familiar with infertility. When Rabbi Lipschitz asked me to speak, I wasn't sure what to speak about. I decided to speak about what this campaign is truly about, the quiet part, the journey that couples go through. You can ask Rabbi Bachner here, of all the 13,000 plus babies that he brought into the world, the amazing stories that couples had. But what about the journeys? You can ask him about the journeys the couples went through, and I'm sure he'll tell you they were extremely difficult. My goal tonight is to give you a little perspective of what infertility truly is. We all heard of IVF, but do we even know what IVF is? Do we even know what it stands for? When a couple is ready to begin their journey with IVF, they go to the doctor, and the doctor will tell the couple, you have a certain start date that you need to start by. What does that mean? That means you need to start coming to appointments, taking blood work, and taking injections. On the start date, the couple generally wakes up at 5 a.m. You drive about 45 minutes to the city and be there at 6:15. Sometimes I'll try to catch a minyan for chakras at 6:30 in the city, but if not, you get back in the car, you drive home to make chakras. And then of course you have to be on work on time because no one knows that you're doing IVF and no one should know. When the nighttime arrives, it gets a little more complicated. There are a few injections that the doctor will tell you need to take, and you cannot miss a night. If you miss a night, there's no going back. You have to take these injections. What are the costs of some of these medications that these couples have to go through, just to give you a little perspective? There's one medication which lasts about 3 nights, and it's about a pen. It costs about $650. There's another one, a little vial of powder, that costs approximately $85, and most couples have to take 2 of them per night. And there's a third, which is about $60 a night that you take. Now, mind you, these injections need to be taken for 12 to 14 days. After 12 to 14 days, the doctor will tell you, okay, you're ready. Come in for what's called a retrieval. The lady will go in, she will go for retrieval, and you sit on, as they say, your shpilkos for an entire day, waiting and hoping that some embryos were created. The doctor will call you back to tell you if any and how many were created. Generally, the clinic will call you 3 to 5 days later and say, okay, you are ready for a transfer, please come in. Or, in many times, the clinic will tell you, we're sorry, but they didn't survive. Which basically, in short, means you need to restart the entire process again with nothing to show for. After the transfer, the lady has to do more injections for about 2 weeks and then goes in for a blood test. Sitting, again, on shpilkos, waiting for the results. There are many times when the doctor will call and say, we're sorry, it didn't work. And that means, again, you have to restart. And many times, there is good news. It did work. But what many people here don't realize, and the Rabbi told me this many, many times, is that 1 every 4 pregnancies, believe it or not, actually end up in a miscarriage. And for couples going through IVF, that number is higher. So it's more likely that unfortunately it won't work. All that tefillas, the tears, everything these couples put into, the money, it's all gone, and they got to restart. Last week at the pre-campaign dinner, I asked a question, and I think it will a little help put in perspective what it really is. The question I asked is, for those of you that Baruch Hashem have children naturally, how much would you pay to have your children? And I'm not going to point out names or whatever or show faces, but some people answered $1 million, some people answered $2 million, some said the house, whatever it is, right? You can say whatever number you want. Why? Because at the end of the day, the truth is this is a rhetorical question. You don't have to pay for your children, so you'll save all the money in the world knowing you don't have to do it. But if you would ask couples that are going through IVF and Bonei Olam, how much would you pay to have your children? Their answer is going to be to you, whatever's in my bank account. Because to us, it's real. We actually have to pay to have our children. We can't say any high number. And then we will tell you, and when our bank account runs out, we have to go to Bonei Olam. And when Bonei Olam tells us their bank account run out, that means we can't even try to have kids anymore. We have to just wait until fundraisers like this. But what happens when there is no money for these couples to even start IVF? What's the waiting period like? I'm here to tell you, it's daunting, worrisome, and stressful. It's a feeling of not knowing if and when they can start again. And believe me, if there was an unlimited amount of funds, these couples will continue doing cycles until they have a child. They would never give up. Living in a frum community, we're always around friends, family, and people we know. We're always reminded of what we don't have. Take Shabbos, for example, the long Shabbosim, they could be very lonely for us. The Yom Tovim that many of you all look forward to and you come to love. Simchas Torah, Simcha Day. Couples going through infertility, right? We see our friends, they're all holding their little children's hands and putting them on their shoulders and dancing with them. We're not. When they call us Kol Narim, and all the little kids are singing Hamalcha Goyal on the side, what are couples that don't have children, what do? They're sitting in the back saying to Hell, I'm basking in Rabbi Shalom. Can this be the last year that I'm here? Let me be next year singing under the house with my little child. Or take Hanukkah, for example, right? You know, some of you are grandparents, I'm sure. You give the toys out to the grandkids and sitting on the floor, opening them, having a great time. What are these couples doing? They're sitting on the couch wondering, will we ever see our children open these gifts from our grandparents? Will we ever feel like them? Comes to Seder night, Pesach, right? Everyone loves the Pesach. The couples that don't have children, they see their nieces and nephews standing there saying Kaddish, saying Manishtana, and then it clicks in the couple's mind that we're married long enough that we could have children that could ask the Manishtana, but now we don't. The summertime, everyone's favorite time, nice weather and beautiness. What's it like for couples going to fertility? It's a reminder that everyone else seems to be moving ahead of life while we're stuck, not going anywhere. Every year we come there and our friends seem to be pulling more carriages, more children, getting older. They're riding bikes, and we're still sitting there in those chairs wondering, will we ever be like them? To put it in a perspective, what the costs possibly can be. Say, for example, you went out for a fancy dinner with your family, the bison and bourbon. It cost you $600. A very nice meal, you're very happy, everyone's excited, let's do it, we'll do it again maybe in 6 months. For couples going through fertility, that's about an average night of medication. Let's say you pick a lavish vacation to go on, $10,000 you spend. It's a lot of money. You go on lavish vacation, you go for a week, right? You come back, you're relaxed, you're ready to go. When couples walk into the IVF clinic, they usually have to give them about a $15,000 check just to deposit to start. Go bigger, making a lavish bar mitzvah, $25,000, crazy bar mitzvah. That's about the cost of an IVF cycle. If you want to go even bigger, you can. Let's say making a wedding, a $65,000 simcha, nice simcha. A couple that has to go through infertility with male factor and there's certain procedures have to be done, it will cost them $65,000 just to know if they can have children. I would like to end by saying the stress, the tears, the worry is all real. It's all real for us. It's not as if it's all real. Yes, couples hide it and they might not show it, but I promise you it's all there. You can ask Rabbi Bachner every time people will probably call him and crying to him, telling him, when is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? We just had this. There's so many stories. Yes, there are Baruch Hashem, so many good stories. But the journey to get there is something that is honestly unfathomable, unless, I wish none of you hear upon it, but unless you're going through it. With your help and the help of Bonei Olam, of course, and Hashem's help, all those worries, tears, tefillos, they could all be turned to joy and simchas. Each child you help bring into the world, as the Rav said, you get the zechusim not just for that child, but for generations that you build, because you planted the seed, you planted the tree, and now every branch that goes on is part of your zechusim. Bracha is to all of you. May Hashem give you the ability to keep helping these couples. We should be zeicha to only see simchas and gula shleima b'karv mamish. Thank you and good evening.
Now, as we introduce the founders of this organization, Rabbi Rebbetzin Yumi Kleinbart, Rabbi Rebbetzin Shloime Bachner. This year, instead of them speaking, please look at the screen and watch this video presentation. Enjoy.
Morning. We are on the corner of 18th Avenue and 46, going to a very special man. Let's do this. I'm very excited about this one. Good morning. This is Rabbi Anthony. He's going to be with us for the rest of the day. When did you start? What hit you that you decided to start this?
The last appointment we had by our doctor, and that's when the doctor told us, I love you guys, but I have to tell you, I don't think it's happening in your lifetime anymore. We more or less expected this to come, but when it came, it was like the world, like the skies opened up. I couldn't believe I'm going to hear those words. They were very hurtful. So when we were driving home, and we were both quiet, deep in thought, it came to a time of well, I said, something, Shlomo, the Rebbe really told us a big no today, but I think we're going to respond with a big yes. We are going to turn our koiches into helping other people. We'll build Klal Yisrael through other people. Our family will be through Klal Yisrael. I was driving, my wife, yeah, do you mind? So there's two things we do here. If there's an early Zoom call from Europe, it's so we do it now.
Yeah.
And also, usually I have all the emails that come in overnight. There's a few times a day I try to run to the computer to make sure people get answered. I understand this pain very much, so it's a little bit different than Emin Sebas Tita Sach Tzeduk Asach Chesed. We say it was daheim by Emin Dishtiv. We say it was a Shabbos Balam. The long Shabbos Shabbosim are mamish a Gehenim for these people. They have no place where to go out. Als as Kinder.
Why? Favos neighbors können sich nicht treffen, wegen der neighbors sind busy mit den Kindern.
So it's a family feeling sich comfortable. So jeder kommt to the families mit den Kindern.
So they're locked in at home?
And the same thing is Friday night in the winter. 6, 7 Schumer sitzt allein in daheim and kriegt auf the event when you see them. They can't go, they're not comfortable to go to people. People don't come to them. I'm not comfortable even until today. I'm not a young man. If you're different than anybody else, you feel odd.
And in Hashem, when they do get a child, they blend back into society
in
easily?
In a second, because they're challenging to become accepted. So Keshe started like this. 2 women in Williamsburg, they were doing shidduchim for people with challenges. But every time she came up with a medical question, she needed to ask. So one day she finally decided, you know something? I'm giving you the program to be under the Bonam flag because you do most of the work anyway.
Right.
It's a very well thought out program.
Wow.
I was very impressed. Today it's Keshe, belongs on the Bonam, but we work together. And they have now 7 shadchanim on. They don't work with any shadchan off the street, because they're afraid to breach the confidentiality of people. So this is a special entrance for couples. Burech runs.
Look at this beautiful entrance. You don't have this in Borough Park.
No.
Not yet.
Has a buzzing system. You can't open one door before another door is not released.
Wow.
So that's how it's controlled, and nobody gets to meet each other.
Just like a silver store.
Right. That door by the kitchen, which I showed you before,
Also locks.
we close the door, so nobody has a shaykh. Even somebody's in the building, they cannot come into here.
How are you, Rabbi? Is that Rami? Rami, say hi, Rami. This is for you, Rabbi.
That's so nice. Both of them Kanainara. Isn't this beautiful?
Brady, Fraddle.
Ooh. Yeah, this is this.
Brady,
This
say
is-
hi.
All worthwhile. Kanainara.
How old is she?
She's 6 weeks. We're married for like 8 years.
So 1 second, what day was Avrami born?
Shmini Atzeres on Sukkot. I was ready, like folding up the talis, and the nurse is like, the doctor's like, look, and I turn, and she's holding the baby like this. Like it was like
How did it feel?
the best, one of the best feelings.
And this is a picture that Haley bought for Rabbi Bachner to have.
Thank you so much. There's no words that we can that we can ever say.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. It's my honor.
Brady.
Congratulations.
She's Kanana, a very good baby.
Yeah. So I was shocked to discover, I overheard a conversation that you don't take a penny and you actually have a full-time job.
Yes, it's true. It's not a full-time job, but it's a job that basically covers me for full-time all year round. I basically
And
work a few weeks of the year because I do the buying for this company, S&W.
And this you started long time ago, much before Bonei Olam.
Much before Bonam. But I basically gave up almost 10 months of work, and I devoted my life to Bonam, but I remained their buyer. So
And that's your paycheck?
it's hard, but the bottom line is that Abu Hashem was never to take a penny from Bonam.
So you're a shliach in an organization that raised so far be'erich $250 million,
Yes.
and you did not take a penny.
No. And I hope Hashem is going to help. This should continue forever.
Klal Yisrael appreciates it, I'm sure.
I hope so.
I'm sure.
I hope so. Shemalayich, Mazel Tov, ich stolz der Masach Nachas. Aber ich immer Gries von Wachnacht, und ich die ganze Sonne.
Keinem geht es sich darüber kommen, ich muss sagen. Sei Vater, sei Mutter, sei Nächten, sei Amt.
Also bis mal so du nicht mas.
Müssen wir das sagen. Ratzenmut.
I want to cry, but I'm in the street. I'm not going to do it. It's just mind-boggling how many tears and how many hours went into this little baby that he's holding. Amalek, Yohanes and Binyamin.
This is the main corporate office of Bonam.
Corporate office, as in not medical.
No, this is totally not medical.
This is fundraising.
Fundraising and everything else. Computers, legal stuff, everything goes from here. There are 6 people working here.
I love these pictures of these babies. Look at this. Look what they did. They did all the testings.
All the medication, they collected
medication,
all the cubes.
No way.
A patient made this on their own. This is how they sent me a thank you.
Wow.
You see all the syringes?
Wow. This is a story. And these are all the medications the parents took.
And they saved the syringes.
They saved this. And this is just a glimpse. If we're talking almost 13,000, this is a Speinwasser. I can look at these photos forever.
Yeah. Hanne tried something that I have. The Rabbi Yosef Yermi Lipschitz.
Okay.
Compete with Marabista, we do a bisschen. Rief sich Rebbe auch.
Okay, where are we going now? What is this?
This is the medical and payment distribution officer. He's the liaison between all the patients for payment distributions. He's the liaison for all the medical centers that get paid by us.
This is the report I showed this month so far. When we would mail a check like this to a center, they would get in a regular Bonam envelope, attaching the invoice, whatever is needed. When we mail a patient reimbursement,
It saves into our couples, and it makes people happy. So You always say, in my sonochi, and anybody who's helped with children, it's very special.
Ken Steiner personally?
I think the one that I know personally is my cousin, which was, I think they had like three kids that were not healthy and they passed away, and Bonei Olam helped them have a healthy child, which is very, very special.
It was 8 years to us.
Wow.
Aramide zult ons medicine in ganz Flatbush jedes jaar. Aramide is modest, is anonymous. Wat Aramide is hat mir gegeben de eerste donation van $1 million van Bonei Olam, the day when he opened up his store. Es ist nicht gering umgekommen, aber wieder mit dem, was mir gesagt, I need at least 10 years to pay it out. But in the end, I paid it out in, I remember, 2 to 2.5 years the amount was paid out. And then he became an honoree for us by a dinner, and he raised another $1 million for Bonei Olam. I remember going with him, this was the most exciting experience I ever had in the organization all my years. The way he does business, gegangen nach Geld, kann keiner nicht gehen nach Geld.
No, we shall say no simchas. Just in case the viewers don't know, this is Alechaim Mazel Tov. You had an engagement party last night for your daughter.
Thank you.
Mazel Tov. Sag ich chsidische nachas. Let's continue supporting the exercise of the exercise. This looks real.
The lab always has to be very, very cool. We can start off over here. This is built very interestingly. You see, there's another door here.
Okay.
When people come in the morning, they don't go in there, they come into here first.
Okay.
They can drink their coffee and they wait. Then they go in over here. So the next one is like, when they go out, they go out there.
So they don't meet each other.
Don't meet each other. This is the room where the embryologist actually sits. Now we're going to get this. You give this to Katsha Kudishim.
I'm happy for the opportunity. Side for you and side for them.
I'm happy too. I think you did a very good job.
I hope
I think
so.
you're quite
Best
good at
Hashem.
it. You know the right questions to ask.
I'm trying to be a good shliach. That's it. Hashem should help. That this campaign should be matzliach at least double than what you expect.
Oh my.
Ma'azer Hashem.
Oh my. Oh my.
What a day.
It was a pleasure.
Wow, what a video. First of all, he's right over here, the Baal Simcha. Mazel Tov. I want to say, this is public knowledge, so I could say it in front of him. He is by far the greatest donor of all donors in Bonei Olam, and he personally takes care of all the medication for Flatbush. There he goes, the Rabbi Banda, pomegranate. Hashem shebenchu simchas menachas gesundheit. The kindlich and einiglich. Big news, we're less than $19,000 away from hitting our goal. So you can go over to Shlomo Moshe over there, swipe your card, give him cash, whatever works for you. Cash accepted, yeah? It's that time of the night. We waited patiently to hear them, and they're back. The one and only Zusha.
Ashivenu avinu sayda secha Akavenu malkeinu lavoida secha Ashivenu avinu sayda secha Akavenu malkeinu lavoida secha Ashivenu avinu sayda secha Akavenu malkeinu lavoida secha Achzirenu b'shuva Shleimo lefanecha Achzirenu b'shuva Shleimo lefanecha Hashivenu avinu b'soyosecha V'kavenu malkeinu lavoida secha Ashivenu avinu b'soyosecha V'kavenu malkeinu lavoida secha V'achzirenu b'shuva Shleimo lefanecha V'achzirenu b'shuva Shleimo lefanecha Ashivenu avinu b'soyosecha V'kavenu malkeinu lavoida secha Ashivenu avinu b'soyosecha V'kavenu malkeinu lavoida secha V'achzirenu b'shuva Shleimo lefanecha Ashivenu b'shuva Shleimo lefanecha L'chaim, l'chaim, we're almost there. We're $14,570 away. It's not so far, by the way. Because 14,000 is like 10,000, and 10,000 is like 5,000. 5,000 we all can manage, you know? Shemayim, these feelings stay no. Sacharei Shemayim, these feelings stay no. Sacharei Shemayim, these feelings never been no. Sacharei Shemayim, these feelings stay no. Avinu malkeinu galei kevod machuscha aleinu. 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 Sacharei Shemayim, this feelings never been known. Sacharei Shemayim, this feelings never known. Sacharei Shemayim, this feelings never been known. Sacharei Shemayim, this feelings never known. Avinu malkeinu galei kevod machuscha aleinu. Avinu malkeinu galei kevod machuscha aleinu. Sacharei Shemayim, this feelings never been known. Sacharei Shemayim, this feelings never known. Avinu malkeinu galei kevod machuscha aleinu. Avinu malkeinu galei kevod machuscha aleinu. I don't think about myself and who will. If I don't think about anyone else, then what had I become? Sipping wine for secrets, I just wanna be this. Lift me up again to the highest part of my soul. Sipping wine for secrets, let me try to feel this. I just wanna know. Follow your heart. 2 hours so we can take it to 3 if we're feeling it.
$1.5 million. Mazel tov. Wow. Now we're ready for the bonus goal of 1.6. Rabbi say it's not too late. Get those credit cards going. 1.6 is a lot better than 1.5. Zusha.
And 2 is even better than 1.5. Mizmor David Hashem, Rabbi Yilov, never stop. Be noise the Shaya, be tayini, Amin Menu Chosina, Halayini, Nafshi Shoy Vivyon Chayni B'Maga, Tzedek Leman Shemoy, Kam Ki Yelech V'Geit Samovez, Lo Irara, Ki Ata Imodi, Hareini mekabel Olam mitzvos aseh shel v'ahavta l'recha kamoicha Hareini mekabel Olam mitzvos aseh shel v'ahavta l'recha kamoicha Hareini mekabel Olam mitzvos aseh shel v'ahavta l'recha kamoicha Hareini mekabel Olam mitzvos aseh shel v'ahavta l'recha kamoicha Hareini mekabel Olam mitzvos aseh shel v'ahavta l'recha Wow, we're at 1.5 million, 35,000. We're getting very close to halfway towards the bonus. Almost at the 50% mark for the bonus. Let's keep going, let's keep going. Do Chike Bonei Chala Bonei Bonei Olam Bonei Olam Chol Bonei Chlamudei Hashem B'Rav Shalom Bonei Chol Bonei Chlamudei Hashem B'Rav Shalom Bonei Atike Bonei Ela Bonei Bonei Olam Bonei Olam Atike Bonei Ela Bonei Bonei Olam Bonei Olam Bonei Olam Bonei Olam Bonei Olam Thank you. Bonei Olam, you reached that goal and then some.